Hello and welcome to the mess that is the studio right now. I have another room that's like never, which is over there by the drums and everything, where I keep all the stuff that I haven't like unpacked from the last studio. And now, as we're having a release party in the studio, I thought on Saturday I thought it would be a good idea to like try to clean up that room so I can get all the neon signs in there and get the bed in there and like start to have some kind of order. But what that means is that you start to find stuff that you thought was like lost. I found like my Stroh violin, which is all beat up and probably savable. As I've shown you already, I have my Perry Mason board game. But one thing that made me really happy was something that I bought at a flea market just outside of Paris, probably like 10 or 15 years ago. Yeah, probably 15 years ago. Where I have a lot of ideas about like stuff that you can do, and when I go to flea markets, I often pick up stuff and I'll go like, yeah, it's a baby monitor now, but it could be a kick-ass snare drum microphone. Yeah. And I had this other idea that I found this burglar alarm that I thought I could rebuild into drum triggers, because if something passes, it will send a signal and we can, you know, all that kind of stuff. But at this flea market, I found the Sound Ace, as in like ace, as in the best thing ever. And it's just got a volume, you know. And so what I did, I asked the guy at the flea market, what is it? And he goes like, hearing, ear. And I'm like, okay, all right. And so what I figured out was that it's a really cheap hearing aid that you put like in your pocket like that. And then you got a little earpiece that you put in. Because, I mean, it is to be honest, a microphone is just a speaker in reverse, which is a microphone in reverse, etc., etc., etc. So I thought, a couple of days ago, I did this piece where a string piece, which was based around the SQ1, and then I did something with the Gino Vanelli strings that sounds something. And I thought that would be like a good experimental, a good piece, because it's got like bass and everything on it, to try to record something with the Sound Ace French hearing aid. And what I did was that I carefully and meticulously, I placed the Sound Ace between the speakers, and then I recorded that. Obviously with the volume down, so it doesn't feed back like a banshee. Alright, so this is the original. And here's the, and I really feel sorry for the French people with impaired hearing that get to hear. Alright, so then I thought, okay, that's pretty darn squeaky and EQ-y and fun, and could be usable for loads of stuff. I can imagine doing like miking acoustic guitars and stuff to give it a bit more grit and all of that. But then I had this other idea that what happens if I I take the original wonderful full signal, and then I pull it out through my luscious AKG reverb. And then I pull up the Sound Ace. So then you've got this really thin squeaky thing in the middle, and then you've got like this big full cloud of orchestra. Right now it sounds really confusing, but I think it could be cool. It's a version of the track, which means that what I'll do is that I'll probably mix this. And then I have this idea of, for the next Molesome album, is that I'm going to work with the album as, I'll start with one track, okay? So I'll take the first track, Bongo Fiesta. Ha! I'll listen to that. And then I'll like import all the other tracks. So like I'll have on tracks, sorry about this, tracks 1 and 2, Bongo Fiesta. Tracks 3 and 4 are like Chaplin's Grave, and then onwards and all of that. Which means that as soon as like the fade on Bongo Fiesta is like, I'll go, alright, so what do we need now? We need something that is a bit calmer than Bongo Fiesta. Yeah, I seem to recall that Chaplin's Grave could be good here. And then I'll just piece it together like that as a full thing with the whole arches of love and creativity. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. And then also what I'll do is that I'll, in that process, that means that I could also, as I'm moving, I mean, there's the time that's like that, and then I can just shift the pieces around, which means that from Bongo Fiesta, I could go to Eternal Octopus, and then I could fade into the end of Eternal Octopus. And then I could go back to the intro of Bongo Fiesta. I mean, all of this is, to me, it's exciting to view it that way, instead of viewing it as, like, 12 songs in a row, and then you need to, like, put the poppy dancey one, probably, like, fairly early on side A, which in my case isn't really going to happen now, is it? Anyways, so it started out with a French hearing aid from a flea market in Paris that I bought 15 years ago, and I finally tried into how I'm making the next Molesome album. So I think I better like sort of hang up now, because I'm running out of change. Thank you for watching.